Buenos dias, people. Good Wednesday morning. Working on World History B. For my people taking World History after what Spanish colonization, give or take. Is that pretty much where we're at? Unit 6, the early wars on French religion, the Ottoman Empire. Right now, we are on the American War of Independence, also known as the American Revolution. Different names from different places, different perspective. Let's go ahead and get that started. It is 41 here. Let me set my timer. It's always important to keep track of time. So stopwatch start. There we go. Corre y se va. Loteria style, right? So the American War for Independence is an aftermath or result of the French and Indian War or the 7 Years' War, this war for North America from 1756 to 1763. I'm going to throw a whole bunch of years at you guys. It's not like I'm going to give you a war, years quiz, right? But it sure does help. As a matter of fact, let me just throw some years out there for you guys in this whiteboard super quick. So important years to remember this part for U.S. history next year for you guys as 11th graders. From 1756 to 1763, we have the French and Indian War. It's a war between the French and the British and the Spanish, and everybody had Native American help. We then have from 1763 to 1775, we have Act and Protest. Essentially, the colonies are being taxed, and then they start protesting. This will lead us to 1775 to 1783, and the actual American Revolution. Now, I'm going to give you three years within here, your more important years for the war. 1776. Oh, goodness, that actually came out pretty terrible. Let's try that again. In here. 1776, 1777, 1781. I gotta throw in one more. And then 1783. What do these mean? Well, here they go. 1776 is the Declaration of Independence. Congratulations, we're now a new country. Thomas Jefferson writes it. England, we're having a divorce. 1777 is the Battle of Saratoga. At the Battle of Saratoga, in Saratoga, New York, the Americans actually beat the British, so the French and the Spanish decide to help the colonials. 1781 is the Battle of Yorktown, where the colonials and the French corner the British and the British surrender. Let me turn on some light right here so I can see a bit better. And then 1783 is the Treaty of Paris. Treaty of Paris. And literally, it's a treaty that ends the American Revolution. After the Revolution, we have a few things that are going down. First of all, from 1775, give or take, through 1788, we have the Articles of Confederation. Our first government, it's not too good. The states have more power than the federal government, so we get rid of that. And we get together a few years later, or 1788, to create what we have today in this United States Constitution. It has 3 branches, and I have an image for you guys in a bit. The legislative branch, the executive branch, and the judicial branch, where the government is divided into 3 branches. So each branch has 33% power of the federal government. 8th grade U.S. history for everybody. People are still scared of the government. So in 1791, the people, these anti-federalists, will end up creating the Bill of Rights, our first 10 amendments to the United States Constitution. Now, this Declaration of Independence and this Constitution will spread around the world as there are continuous revolutions and constitutions being created. Okay, let's get back into class. So, in 1620, when the Pilgrims arrive, they actually create our first piece of government, this Mayflower Compact, which will become the stepping stones for a constitution, right? We are coming over here. We don't need you British help. We'll do it by ourselves. Here is our new country. As I said, in 1763, people start being taxed. There are taxes. 1763, taxes are levied on the colonies. And next thing you know, people are like, if you're going to tax us, let us have a say in government. The British say no, so let's just create our own government, essentially is what happens. In 1775, the Battle of Lexington and Concord takes place. We get this shot heard around the world. The revolution has started. I gave you the rest of it. Right here's July 4th, 1776, the Declaration of Independence. You're encouraged to read all of this. In 1777, after the Americans beat the British at Saratoga, the French and the Spanish decide to help. Now, the French had lost the 7 Years' War, or the French and Indian War, in 1763, so they don't like the British. In 1588, the Spanish lost to the British at the defeat of the Spanish Armada, so they don't like the British either, so they help their enemy, the colonials. In 1781, we get the Battle of Yorktown. The British surrender, and we end up with the U.S. or the Articles of Confederation. They don't work, so we create the U.S. Constitution in 1788-89, this Constitutional Convention. Here's 1788, new Constitution. Our government is still scary, so we passed the Bill of Rights in 1791. The war itself is ugly and messy. For the most part, the British are winning. They win like 8 battles. We win 1 for every 8 that they win. But we do win the major ones, Saratoga and Yorktown. Just that's a handful of the battles that we won. All these areas in blue are British victories. Notice there's a whole bunch of them. Red are few, and there's more battles to the revolution. Right? Here are the colonials with the help of the Spanish and the French. And then the red is all the British help. Right? They control a lot of this land. The problem with the British, which they will regret later, let's do this in the color green. Britain, that's not going to help very much. Britain is across the ocean, so they need to come over here. They need to send soldiers, send supplies. This is a 6-month trip. Ultimately, distance and logistics to get things from one place to another will end up being their defeat. Another map of the revolution, major battles. I gave you a handful of them, literally 2 or 3. That's it. But then we create our constitution after the articles fail. The legislative branch creates the laws. Here we go. They make the laws. They have the House and the Senate. The executive branch is the president. He's our leader, our like police chief. And then the judicial branch is the Supreme Court, and they tell us what the law means. We have 10 Bill of Rights, but we have 27 amendments. The Bill of Rights are the first 10 amendments. It's the Constitution, first 10. There's 27 in total. For 11th grade history, you're encouraged to learn 13 through 27. 1 through 10, I'll leave it here. I hope this was informative for you guys. If you need me, you know where to find me. Show up to my live lessons, book an office appointment. If you can't book it, email me so I can see what's going on. I tried it, I can't, but my teachers, my coworkers did, and we were good. Best of luck to you. You need me, you know where I'm at. You all be good, be well, have a good one. And I wish you guys the best as we continue on the school year.